Thank you, Rob. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So I'm Bala Kudrwali. I'm an architect in Symantec here with my colleague Greg. So I will provide context on what we're doing and why, and then hand it over to Greg. So if you do have questions, feel free to ask us. I'm happy to answer. Uh, we are a Google customer for a long time. It's about 7 years now. Google Search customer. Very happy with them and glad that we were able to extend the relationship with the GSA to our support organization. A little bit of context. Our support organization is global. It's a global support organization. Um, we have about 3,000 support agents worldwide, and our product portfolio is pretty complex. So we have over 150 products that we serve. Historically, Symantec has grown through acquisitions. With every acquisition, we inherit a lot of technologies, and quite often we don't end of life those technologies. So they have a life of their own. What that translates to for our support engineers is they end up trying to log into multiple systems to solve a case, right? Now, that got exasperated with us moving into cloud, moving into appliances and different kinds of products. Now, about a year and a half to 2 years back, Symantec as a company underwent through a major transformation. As part of the transformation, we were asked to look at how can we serve our customers better? How can we be more operationally efficient? To that end, our support organization identified that we're taking too long to resolve a case. And we spent some time trying to figure that out why, right? And it happened that Greg and I, along with Proficient, we went and sat with our support engineers to understand what the problem is. And what we saw was when a case comes in, the triage was happening pretty good and comes to the next level. At that point, the support engineer was looking at popping up multiple screens, logging into multiple systems to find the right answer and solve the case. So they were taking too long. So it was very inefficient, and the customer experience was not as good as it could be. So there was a lot of opportunity for us to improve on it. Um, so when it came when the so what we did at that time was we said, okay, we need to fix that. Let's do a proof of concept and see how we can change that behavior, how we can improve on these issues for us. So we did a proof of concept. The proof of concept was very successful, and we used Proficient as an implementation partner because it was recommended by Google, and they did a fantastic job at the implementation. We're live for about 8 weeks now, six to 8 weeks now.
Yeah, about
Close to
6 weeks,
that.
yeah.
So far, we've got good reviews, and I'll let Greg take it from here.
Thanks, Bala. Actually, I think this is working. So I'm Greg Annable. I'm also on the architecture team with Bala here. Basically, as he said on that previous slide, we did have a number of issues with our current way to find knowledge. And so these slides that I'm showing here is basically kind of the drivers behind what we're trying to do or try to achieve with the project. And so this particular slide basically is drilling down into what Symantec was looking for as the right solution. And as you see at the bottom, the check marks, that's kind of how we integrated or how we evaluated the different product sets. We did have 3 that we looked at against those 5 bullet points. And then based on those requirements that we saw, we narrowed it down to basically Google, and then we did the prototype. Some of the interesting requirements that are on the slide is that it had functional and non-functional. So like the first bullet there, which is the enterprise goals, we basically were trying to establish a single search platform that we can use across the entire organization, as well as introduce a center of excellence in terms of building a team that could rapidly build out new search capabilities. One of the other interesting ones there is that we have a pretty diverse support engineer infrastructure where we have front end, back ends, and they have different types of processes. and they also have different ways of working. Some actually get on the phone and talk directly with customers, and so they need knowledge right away. We have other folks that are in the back end that take days or weeks or whatever it takes to be able to try to figure out what's wrong with the particular products. So we needed a solution that could solve for all those different use cases. So again, this slide is really to just drive out what we were looking for in a solution. And again, we found out that the GSA was really the best fit for all of these requirements. So you go next slide. And so basically, when we did the prototype and we found out that this was going to be a tool set that we liked, I know Chad had put together the prototype, and we were able to get the business, the actually support engineers to get in there and kind of kick the tires. We could tell right away that it was going to be pretty successful. So that was really nice that we did the prototype. The main one here is really the support engineers would have to log into a lot of different systems to be able to find knowledge. What we have at this point now with the Google Search appliance is they're able to basically get into a single UI, which is integrated with their normal process, which is Salesforce, be able to type in and then see the result sets against all those different repositories. So as Chad had shown in the demo, we have 4 repositories that we've currently integrated into the GSA. So we have our bug tracking, our Salesforce cases, our legacy case system, and the 4th one is our actual knowledge base. And so when the support engineers actually go and look for knowledge, they're at one single shot through one query able to figure out and see that full set. So it's a huge benefit to them. It's a huge benefit to our customers. In terms of how they're efficiently working, we haven't had the metrics yet because it's only been rolled out for about 6 weeks now. But we can tell already that it's very, very helpful. In the next screen here, if you want to jump to it.
And what helped on that journey is that we rolled out Service Cloud about a year back. And so having the Service Cloud and integrating the GSA into Service Cloud actually helped us.
Yeah. Again, here's the testimonials. In the previous screen, right, one of the key benefits was a very small change management. So exactly as Bala had mentioned, right, we were able to integrate that into Salesforce with very minimal effort. And what it actually did was they were in Salesforce already trying to work the case, trying to get the knowledge there through our existing knowledge platform. So it was just a very small augmentation to what we were doing today. And so the change management was very low. Everybody knows how to use Google, right? The queries syntax is pretty straightforward. And the result set is everybody is familiar with it. So, and as you can see from the testimonials, these are obviously some of the really key ones that we pulled out. And as you can see, right, this is a huge game changer for them. Previously, as we mentioned, they would have to have multiple screens open, and they'd have to go and do queries against these different systems. Some of them were even databases, so they were actually writing like SQL-type queries or putting flags, I want to look in these columns. So it's very painful for them to find this knowledge. So as you can see, this is quite a game changer. We still have a long ways to go. We want to include a lot more data sources. We need to make sure that the data across the different sources is lined up so we get better result sets. But at least initially, we know that it's, as it says, it rocks. I don't know if we need to necessarily go through, if you want to jump through the other pages.
Yeah, I think that's it. If you guys want to just take a seat up here and we're going to bug tracking system.
Oh.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Anything else?
Well, you guys already seen this. This is our actual production instance here. So this is our service console with the demo that was shown. As you can see, we have the E and the S because the E is our bug tracking system, the S is Salesforce, and there's the other 2. And then we also, because the use case of our support engineers, a lot of them work in the Salesforce. If you go to the next page. Is there no more? Okay. We also have a standalone version, so we're actually hitting directly against the GSA. And not having it embedded in Salesforce because some of our support engineers, again, as I was mentioning, we have front end who are on the phone with the customers working cases, we have back end. They actually just rather would have the Google search appliance just directly there, and then they're working in other areas to find information. Are we taking questions
We'll,
now?
we'll,
Or?
we'll have a panel and we'll take questions. I'm running the panel, so I promise we'll take questions as soon as we get going. Thank you, guys.